Welcome, everyone. Good evening. Happy to have you on here. And most importantly, welcome to the team. First and foremost, I just want to give you guys a huge thank you for being a part of this amazing, incredible journey. And I want you guys to know you're not just joining a team, you're stepping into a movement that has this power that can impact lives around the world, in your neighborhood, in your household, and around the entire world. And it all starts with you. And it all started with me. And it all started with my wife. And let's just start off tonight and talk about what matters most about everything in life. Your marriage, your business, being a father, being a mother, whatever it is. And it's all about your mindset and the way you guys show up for all of those things. And the way you show up for this business is going to determine how far and fast your relationship and your business is going to grow. And the cool thing about this, when you guys signed up for this business, you became an immediate entrepreneur. I mean, you guys started a business. If it was just for the $295 pack, you guys started a business that has legitimate tax write-offs that you can say is yours. It's something you could sell in the future. It's a business that you are building. And that means you guys are building something real. But the cool thing about this business is this business has a purpose. So we have to treat this business with seriousness. You have to treat it with consistency, and you have to treat it with the heart that it deserves. And how you start doing that is what you did tonight. You showed up and you got to learn every single thing you can. Now, we provide powerful resources, you guys. Evelyn, Lola, Justin, whoever sent you the information, go through that information that we sent you. We're getting ready to launch our website and a school training system very, very, very soon. We are on the final touches of it right now. And when we launch that, go through those resources, go through the website, go through the school system, and get yourself educated. Knowledge will create confidence in this business, you guys. I remember when I first started, I knew nothing. And I took a whole month, and every day I spent 30, 45 minutes just learning everything I could about this business. And when you create that confidence, the confidence is going to drive momentum in your business. And momentum is going to create the success that you're looking for, that you've always been looking for. So how you do that is we have these weekly trainings every week, right? Every week we're going to onboard. Now, I would say sit through 4 or 5 of those. I'm going to go through this stuff fast, but then every time you sign somebody up, make sure they get on this call so that we can give them a fast start. Make sure they know that the website is available. Make sure that they know that the training is available. They have to know that these things are available. If they don't know they're available, then they're not going to get the start that they need. Now, on these calls that we have, Monday night at 6, Tuesday we do an opportunity call, Thursday we do a call at, I'm sorry, Tuesday at 7 and Wednesdays at 6, I do a training call. This week we're going to just talk about how to get people into business. If you can't show up because you're busy, you're just getting off work, you're dealing with kids, life gets in the way, which it can happen. Just make it a priority to watch the replays. They're uploaded immediately. I have my team on here, and as soon as this call is done, they upload them to YouTube. They're going to upload them to our school. They're going to be there and readily available for you guys to watch. Just take the time. If you're driving to work, going to the bathroom, in the gym, but just listen to these trainings because every single training that you have is a step forward in your growth in this business and hopefully your growth in life. Every call is a chance to sharpen your skills and build belief in this business because belief is everything in anything that you do. If you don't believe in the things that you're doing, you're never going to do them. If you don't believe in this product, it's just going to be another supplement or a gadget in your mind. But this technology, you guys, is going to change humanity. And you must believe that. When you believe that, you're going to have the conviction and the passion to talk about this. And then sharing is going to become very, very natural for you. Passion is going to become contagious. Everyone you talk to is going to be wowed. And you're just going to want to share it with everyone. That's what I decided to do when I found this device. I plant seeds every single place I go. And this is the best part of all of this, you guys. You're not doing this alone. A lot of these businesses that you come into, they give you a little bit of information and you're on your own. We have created a system for you down to the point we've invested in a website, we invested in a school system, we invested in doing videos because we want you to be successful, but you have to use the tools. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's already been invented. We've already invented the wheel. We've been through all of the aches and pains of learning. Just follow the one that's proven to work. And then invite your people to the opportunity calls, invite them to the training calls, invite them to the website, let them use the resources, use all the tools. When you leverage the team and you leverage the tools, we'll all rise together and we'll rise a lot faster. Because my wife and I, and everyone that's joined this, I hope that you guys are here something bigger than yourself. This isn't just about sales, you guys. I don't see this as sales. I see this as sharing. And when you share, you create transformation. This is about being a part of something special, something rare, something the world right now desperately needs. There's such a divide in our world right now. People are so used to being in these Zoom worlds and working from home that we've lost connection with people. And I hope that you will see that this community will bring us all together. So what I want to first go through, and I'm going to go through this fast, you guys, is I want to walk you through your back office. I want to get you familiar with everything and learn how to navigate it like a pro. It's very, very easy. You cannot break it. Just go in to the back office and explore. But I want to show you some key things to launch your business and some key areas to know. But go in there and launch your business by understanding what the back office is. This is your website. This is your business. This is like if you start a business, this is your website. Okay. So let me share this with you guys. So this is your back office. Whenever you log into LifeWave, backoffice.lifewave.com login, the username and the password that you put in when you started your business, this is where you're going to put it. And you're just going to hit login. All right. So this is where you can see your comp. You're going to see your rank advancement. Up here at the top, you're going to see your name. Ours is in an LLC. We put our business, our name as our business name because we put it in an LLC, so we get all the tax advantages. We have a training on YouTube, and it's going to be in our school system as well about how to start an LLC and all the advantages of starting an LLC. Okay. You guys can get that there. But when you log in, the first thing you want to do is you want to click on your name right here, and then you want to go to change settings. Now, this is where you're going to update all your information, okay? You can edit your picture, if you have a company name like we do, how you want to be recognized as a company, all the information, all your contact information, and then you're going to go through each tab. This is your profile. You can go in and you can edit all that, answer all of these questions here. Your payment methods, notification, all this, just go through there and update all that information, okay? So that's how you go in and update your information. Super easy, super straightforward. All right. This is a binary plan. What that means is there's only two legs in your organization. You have a right leg and you have a left leg. Either people are going to go on the right or they're going to go on the left. Simple. When you enroll them in, they're either going to go on one of those legs. Okay. Now, in order to build an even business so that you get compensated correctly, you should do it even when you start. So when you first start the business, one-on-one, one another, one-on-one, one another. And so to make that happen, you have to change your legs. In order to do that, you just scroll down here to the second area and it says, do you want to build left or build right? So let's say you signed somebody up today and they were on your left. The next time, now you're just going to go into your back office and put build right so that when you share your link again, it's automatically going to go on your right. And then if you sign someone up, you're going to go back in, you're going to hit build left, and now it's going to go on your left. So you just want to build an even organization. Now, down the road, once you've been in the business 4 or 5 months, maybe you have somebody that's doing really, really well on your left side, and now you need to build on the left side to catch that leg up. So maybe that's what's going to happen. But we will address that in the future. Right now, it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So that's how you change your legs in the back office. Here's another really important thing is your monthly subscription orders. Okay. This is really, really important. The way this comp plan works is you do not want to lose your volume in your organization. Because it's binary, when we enroll people, since you're on our team, when we enroll people, they could go under you and you have nothing to do with it, but you're getting volume from that person that we enrolled. Okay. And so we don't want to give up that volume. In order to stay active with the company, or to keep your business open, you have to have at least one sleeve of patches. That's going to give you 55 PV. Okay. That's to keep your business active. In order to get paid, once you start getting money in and to start cycling bonuses out, once you start getting paid, You have to have two sleeves of patches. That's the only thing you need to do to keep your business open. Like my wife said, it's like paying rent, right? You have to pay 200 bucks a month to keep your business open, but those are for patches for you. Those are for patches for you and your husband, or for patches for you and for you to share with other people so that they can sample the patches and see what they do for them. Right? That's the only requirement that you have is you have to have at least one sleeve to maintain your volume so you don't lose it, and two to get paid. Okay. And so how you check to see if when you signed up, if you did a monthly subscription, is you go in here where it says monthly subscription, and this is our monthly subscription. These are all the patches that we wear, right? We wear the X39, X49. Synergize, which is a new supplement that they have, Energy Enhancer, the Eon patch, the glutathione SP6, and the X39. Okay. So this is our monthly. If you don't have anything, the way you add a subscription to make sure that you stay active is you go in here to store and you go into patches. Okay. You click on that and you're going to click on the X39 patches. Okay. Let me, Justin, can you see who's unmuted? And so if you scroll down here, you're just going to add two monthly subscription orders. Okay. So there's one there. I'm going to click on this. Now it's going to give me a message saying it's been added to your auto order. That's not true. Okay. You got to go to your cart and check out. You're going to go through the process of checking out. Once you do that, once you check out and you go through that whole process, go back to monthly subscription orders and then check if it's in there. If it's in there, you're set up and you're good to go. Okay. Now, next thing is how you find your enrollment link. Okay. The way you find your enrollment link is you go to organization, click on that, enroll new. Once you click on enroll new, global enrollment, it's going to ask me that I'm not a robot to make sure I'm a human being. And it's taking a minute to make sure I'm not a robot. I'm not sure. It doesn't normally take this long. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Join now. So this link right here at the top, this is your link to share for people that want to join and do the business with you. Okay. So you're going to copy and paste that and put it into your notes on your phone. And that way, when someone says, how do I join? You're going to send out that link, go into your notes, copy, paste it, and text in that link, and that's going to send them right to your link to sign up. The other thing is maybe they just want to be a customer. There's two links. There's a customer link and there's a link to join. You're going to go to preferred customer program, and this link right here is your link that you're going to copy and paste, put it in your notes on your phone. And if they say, hey, I just want to buy it as a customer, great. You're going to send them this link right here, and they're going to be able to buy as a customer with that link. That's how you find your enrollment link. All right, the next is your commissions. There's a couple ways that you could check commissions, okay? When your home screen comes up, you can see your commissions right here. These are your weekly commissions, but you can go into commissions right here where it says commissions and then commissions. And you can check, this is this week so far. So it just started today. All your commissions that you've done with the company, they're all right here. You can go in and check any of them. And then this will tell you down here all the ways that you made money. Okay. So off my cycle bonus, I made 4,000 that week. Off of matching bonus, I made 56.32. So you go check out everything. Bonus, introduction bonus. Anybody that joined the business that week, you could see. And also you could see customers as well. So this is customers and retail customers. So this will show you all your customers and retail customers right there. Okay. This is how you check your commissions. Okay. So the next thing that you can do is upgrade your package. Okay. So let's say you came in as a advanced and you want to go up to premium, or you came in at a core and you want to go to advanced. When you go to store, click on store right here where you see sales tool, there's going to be another option for you. I don't have the option because I've already upgraded and you can only upgrade once. Okay. And you can only upgrade to the premium package once. I upgraded to premium already. So it's going to say upgrade package right here. Click on that and you can either upgrade to advanced or premium with there, and then you're just going to go through and check out of the cart. So that's how you upgrade your package if you want to get more patches for very, very wholesale price. Okay. Now, the resource tab in the back office, really, really important. This is going to have some additional information. You can get to this with your phone too. All this is mobile friendly. Just go in here and go through these tabs and watch these videos because it's going to help you have better understanding as well as education. Right now, under the education tab is compensation 2.0. Okay. That's what we have that's under there right now. The compensation is being enhanced. It's going to be a lot better. They're saying it might be October, November when it comes out, but this will just give you a guide on understanding what the compensation enhancements are going to be. It's way, way great. They're just making sure the technology works when everything transfers over. Okay. So make sure you go into those resource tabs and look at it. Again, we're going to have a website and we're going to have school, which is a learning platform that you can learn more stuff on that we're going to talk about more in detail that you can also have other people tune into. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about is the very hardest part about this business. And I forgot to tell you in the beginning, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to leave time at the end for you guys to ask questions. So as I'm speaking, write those questions down and I'm happy to help you answer any of those questions the last 15, 20 minutes of the call. Okay. But now I want to talk about the hardest part about this business, the part that people struggle with the most. And that's talking to people consistently and getting into conversations. The very hardest part about this business. But I want to make it really, really easy for you. Okay. That's why I'm going to spend a good amount of time on this. And what I like to do is talk about what not to do first. Okay. Because most people don't focus on what not to do and they make a lot of mistakes up front, right? And so the first thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to barf on people about the patch. Okay? I don't want that to be the first thing that comes out of your mouth about this new patch that you're wearing, the X39, this business opportunity. Like that's what people do. They get into a conversation and very quickly they want to transition to what's going on in their life. Don't do that. Second thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to talk about network marketing. Okay? Because a lot of people have had experience or they have this, thing about pyramid schemes, which pyramid schemes don't exist anymore, you guys. The United States government and a lot of governments in the world have disallowed this and made it illegal to have anything. I will tell you what a pyramid scheme is. A pyramid scheme is corporate America. The CEO of the company is making the most money in the company. No one else is making more money than him. The people that I brought into this business are making more money than me. They're doing a little better than I am. That's great. I'm happy, right? That means they're doing really well. That means I'm making money, but they just happen to be making more money than me. If they're making more money than me, it cannot be a pyramid scheme. So I don't like to talk about direct marketing, network marketing right away. If people ask me, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't. That's not what I start with. Okay, and then I also don't talk about how much money I'm making right away. Because if something sounds too good to be true, then it usually is. So that's not how I start off about this business. Let me tell you how I do start off. And that's something my grandfather taught me 30 years ago. And that is you have to leave people with themselves. And what that means is they know a lot about you. I mean, you know a lot about them and they know nothing about you. Sorry, I'm turning my AC down because I am hot. I think my wife might have turned my AC up. So when you leave people with themselves, you know a lot about them and they don't know much about you. And that's because you become the master of asking questions. But not just asking questions, you have to authentically be interested in that person so that the conversation flows. Because when you ask a question, it's going to create another question. It's going to create another question. Okay. But the questions that I like to get into conversations with everyone, stranger, someone I think I know, someone I knew from the past, doesn't matter. Every single human being is I like to ask questions about their identity. And most people's identity has to do with their family and what they do for a living. Most people do what they do for a living. They spend more time doing that than they do with their family. So even if it's a stay-at-home mom, that's a job. That's a hard job. That's the hardest job I think that is out there. And I'm going to tell them that. If it's somebody that works at the airport, if it's someone that works at Target, if it's someone that works at a restaurant, it doesn't matter. This weekend, my wife and I were out for date night. Our waiter was amazing. And I told him he was amazing. I told the manager he was amazing. But it led into the conversation that he's wasting his talents at a restaurant, that there's a business that he could do a lot better in. And so I left him with himself by giving him a compliment, asking what he did. Is this what you do full time? And he was like, no, no, I used to do financial services. Now I'm doing this. And, I'm thinking about doing financial services a little bit here and there and doing this. But I was able to get into a conversation with him. And then I asked him, tell me one thing you love about this job. And he was like, people like you. And I was like, thank you. That's very nice. He's like, yeah, I love getting to interact with people like you. And I was like, well, tell me one thing that you would change about your job. And he's like, I don't love the hours. I feel like I'm always working when other people are off and off when other people are working. So I don't really get to interact with the most successful people in the world because I'm working. And I was like, huh. And again, this is good information for me to have, right? Because I'm going to be able to utilize it in later conversation or later on in the conversation when he asked me what I did, which is what he did next. He said to me, well, what do you do? And I said, I'm in financial services and in the wellness space and stem cells. What do you know about stem cells? And he was like, I don't know very much about it. And I was like, well, let me tell you, they're very expensive and sometimes they don't work. Let me tell you something else about stem cells. Did you know between the age of 0 and 30, how old are you? He was like, I'm 34. Did you know that 50% of your stem cells are dormant in your body? Do you know what stem cells do? You know what the purpose is? Their main purpose is that let you recover, keep inflammation out of your body. They help you sleep. They keep your collagen tight. They keep you healthy. They keep disease out of your body. Did you know between the age of 30 and 60 that over 95% of our stem cells are dormant? That's why we see people after the age of 60, between 60 and 80, decline in health. They start aging aggressively. They start having more disease, all because of stem cells. I have a device that stimulates my stem cells. It's this little device here. It's changed my life like nothing has ever changed my life before. I have more energy. I'm sleeping better than I've ever slept. All the pain that I've had from all the sports that I've played is gone in my body. It's absolutely amazing. And his next question after his response was like, wow, I did not know that. How do I get one of those? I was like, oh man, that's easy. You can get it one of three ways. You can either buy it retail for $150 a month, which is about $5.30 a day, or you can buy it wholesale for $99 a month, which is about $3 a day, or you could turn it into a business like I did, and I'm just sharing with people and the company's paying me for sharing. You know what? Like an affiliate, this thing has changed my life. I am compelled to tell every single person I meet about this device. Which one sounds most appealing to you? And that's how I get into the conversation. I make it about that person. I leave them with themselves. I give them a compliment. I ask them what they do. I ask them what they love. I ask them what they would change. They ask me what I do. And that's how the conversation every single time, you guys, it works so well. It's very, very simple. Now, you guys can watch this video back and do the same thing. I've been doing it now for a long time. We have over 1,000 people in our business because we do it all the time. It's very, very simple, but you got to practice this and you got to talk to people. Now, when they ask you what you do, you have to be ready for your 30-second commercial. My 30-second commercial was I'm in financial services and wellness. What do you know about stem cells? I get into that conversation. Now, some other questions that I will ask people in conversations. If I see somebody and I'm having a conversation with them, I'll say, how's your day-to-day energy level? You ever crash around 2 o'clock? You ever feel sleepy through the day? Never happens to me anymore. I stopped drinking coffee and I never crash anymore. They're like, how do you do that? Stem cell patch. If I see somebody in pain, I always have LifeWave patches, which removes pain in 15 seconds. And then I put the X39 right next to it. And guess what? No pain. And they're like, what? I've had this pain for 3 years. And then I start talking about the same thing about the patch. They can become a customer, buy it retail, wholesale, or share it. When people have a transformation like that, they want to share it with everyone. If I see somebody drinking an energy drink, I'll go up to them and ask them to tell me what ingredients they recognize in the back of that energy drink. You do it. Caffeine, water, nothing else. We're pouring chemicals into our body like nothing. And I'll say, you know what? I used to drink pre-workout. I used to have energy drinks. I used to drink Red Bulls. I used to drink all this stuff to get energy in the morning. Now I just use this. I have more energy than I've ever had in my entire life. I have more mental clarity than I've ever had, even when I was 25 years old. Okay, I'm just giving you guys ideas to get into conversations with people and what to say. Another thing, you could target people in direct sales already. They understand the business model. They understand how to talk to people. So I want you guys to write this down. DSN.com. DSN. D is in Delta, Sam, Nancy.com. It's direct selling news. And go in and just say, tell me the 100 top companies rated by DSN. You can go on Instagram and you can put in the search bar that company, and it's going to bring up people that are promoting that company. Now, what most people do in this business is they go out and they find somebody in the business and they send them a DM saying, hey, I've got an opportunity I'd love to talk to you about. But I want you to do the same exact thing that I just taught you. Instead of telling them about an opportunity you have, tell them you're interested in hearing about their opportunity. Because if someone DMs you and says, hey, I'm interested in hearing about your opportunity, you're going to respond to them immediately. So they're going to respond to you. And then get on the phone and say, I want to hear about your opportunity. Tell me about the opportunity. Tell me about the business. And let them do a pitch. Get on a Zoom with them. Ask questions. And then they're going to say, well, what do you do? Because that's a natural question. And you're going to say, well, I'm with another company, LifeWave. It's absolutely amazing. I'm just looking to add an additional stream of income. And this pairs up well with what I'm doing. It doesn't compete with what I'm doing. And they're going to be like, does your company let you do that? Absolutely. My company doesn't care. Your company doesn't? But by then, I've already talked about how amazing this opportunity is. But I didn't do it through a sales call to them. I did it through them giving me information, and they asked me what I did. So I was able to tell them what I did and give them that information because who knows if they're happy or who knows if they're looking for another opportunity. The other thing you can do is use social media to talk about the product or the business aspect of this. Now, I know a lot of you are like, I'm not comfortable doing videos on social media. I will only say this to you. You're going to be uncomfortable either way. And what I mean by that is if you don't promote and you don't grow your business, you're going to be uncomfortable because you're not going to make the money and have a life and you're not going to impact the lives that you can. When you take a photo, the first person that you look at in the photo is you because we're very self-critical of ourselves and we want to see how we look in that photo and if we look good or not. My daughter at 7 years old does it. My wife does it. We take a photo. She's like, it's an amazing photo. And I'm like, let me see. I look at it. I'm like, yeah, my eyes are closed. She didn't see that part because we all look at ourselves. It's all something we do. When we do a video, it's even worse because we're even more critical on ourselves in a video. We said, we said, ah. We didn't look at the camera right. We paused. We stuttered. And then you're never going to post it. Just do the video and post it. People are not looking for perfection. Matter of fact, they're looking for connection. They're looking for someone that they can connect with and say, you know what? I can do that. I can do that. So even if you have 200 followers, the number is usually you can get 10% of your following to do something. 200 followers could turn into 20 people in your business, which could turn into $2,000, $3,000 a month. That would change your life. If you have 2,000, you could get 200 people. 20,000, you could get 2,000 people, which will absolutely change your life forever and ever and ever. Friends and family, they're going to be your worst critic. They're going to be your hardest sale. They're going to be on your chicken list because they know you. They know who you are. And they're going to sit back and they might wait and see how this thing goes and see if you're as excited about it in 6 months or a year from now. But still talk to them because they're the best people to practice on. What about people you went to school with? High school, college, middle school, people you worked with in the past. Maybe you haven't talked to them in 5 years. Accidentally pocket dial them. Oh my God, how did my phone call you? How have you been? What are you up to? How's life? Where are you working? Oh, wow. How long you been doing that? That's amazing. What do you love about it? Oh, I love this, or I don't love anything about it. Well, what's one thing you would definitely change about it? And then they're gonna say, what are you doing? Oh my God. I just started a business. I'm in the stem cell business. What do you know about stem cells? Boom, you're in the conversation. Did you know between when you were born and 30 that 50% of your stem cells are dormant? Do you know what your stem cells do? Same conversation, you guys. How about just pull your phone out and go through all the contacts and reach out to people and see what they're doing? Maybe call a Tom that's a different Tom and be like, Tom, oh, this is not Tom. I was calling my other friend. This is, hey man, how you doing? And just get into the conversation. Most people have at least 200 contacts in their phone. Most. Some have 4,000. Some have 6,000. I've had my phone, the same phone, since I've had a phone. Every contact I've ever put in there is in my phone. Every single business contact. I have over 7,000 contacts in my phone. It's a lot of people. 10%, that's 700 people. A lot of people. All right, so reach out to those people. Now, the other thing I like to do is when I invite people to calls, I like to tell them that, my business partner and I are doing a call tomorrow night. So tomorrow night we're doing a call at 7 o'clock. You're new in this business. Start reaching out to a couple people tonight and invite them to our opportunity call. And just say, hey, listen, I started this new business. I would love to get your opinion. Would you mind joining at 7 o'clock? And then afterwards I can follow up and just tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I made a good move and just get people's opinion. And they're like, what is it? It's a stem cell business. I'm really, really excited about it, but I just kind of dying for another opinion. I would love to get your opinion. It's at 7 o'clock. Can I send you the link? You just jump on and then you tell me what you think. It's very easy. No pressure. And then you follow up with them. What do you think? Seems really interesting. Wow, that's cool. Now you're in the conversation. But one of the biggest things you guys have to do that's going to give you success is you got to patch people. If people don't see this, they don't feel it on their body, it's going to be a lot harder to convince them. But I had my transformation within 24 hours. 70% have it within 10 days. 98% have it within 3 months. It takes people a little longer, depending on what supplements or drugs or alcohol or whatever they're drinking or how they're damaging their body. It might take someone a little longer, or it might be immediate. But the biggest thing you can do is get out there and patch people. But how you patch people is to get into the conversation with people. That's how you patch people, is getting into a conversation with people. All right, guys. So right now, what I want to do is I want to talk about the comp plan very, very briefly. Okay. The comp plan is changing. Okay. It's changing maybe in October. It was supposed to change in August, but it might be changing in October. I'm trying to see. I don't, Lola's on here. I don't think she added it back in an old comp. I'm gonna go through it really, really quickly with you guys. Okay. Let me see. I don't think, no. So let me see. This is all the new comp. This is what I would tell you. So right now, one of the ways you get paid is when you have a retail customer come in the business. They pay you a $50 commission if a retail customer signs up. If a VIP customer or a regular customer signs up, you get a $20 commission. Okay, that's one way. The second way is what's called a binary commission. And you can make up to $25,000 per week based on the rank. Okay, that's every week. You can make up to 25K per week. Okay, so that's the second way. And then the other way that you can make money is off of the product packs. So if someone signs up as a core, advanced, or premium, you can make $35 off of a core, $75 off of advanced, and $405 off of a premium. But where the big money is in the, and this is the new comp, I apologize, is off the binary, but also generational matching. So right now, the way it is is generational matching. You get paid up to 3 generations. Okay. So you make 25% off of your first generation. Everything they make, you make 25% off. Second generation, 20%. Third generation, 20%. What it's going to is this. Now it's going to 6 generations and it's compressed. And what that means is this. If your second and third generation is not doing anything, your fourth and fifth generation will roll up. So it means you're going to get paid on everybody in your entire organization that is doing something. So there's no dead legs. And instead of making up to only 62.50 per week, you can make up to $20,000 per week per person in your business. There's lots and lots of money. This company pays out over 60% to the field. Most companies pay anywhere between 38 and 42%, but this company pays out 60% to the field, which is just an insane number. And I'll share with you guys the new comp later, but the other one is they're paying some pretty big bonuses. When you hit the top of the company, you can make a 50, 75, and $100,000 bonus. When you hit the top of the company, they're going to give you a his and her blue face Rolex as well. So there's a lot of great things that this company is offering when it comes to comp. Now what I want to do is just talk to you guys about any questions that you guys might have. If there's some in the chat that need to be translated, Evelyn, if you want to read them to me, or if you guys want to raise your hand, unmute, ask me any questions that you might have. I know I gave you a lot of information tonight on purpose so that I give you the tools that you need to be successful. But any questions that you guys have, also Evelyn and Lola in the chats, the WhatsApp chats, the Telegram chats, that's what they're there for, to answer any of your questions as quickly as possible as they come in. But please, any questions that you have. And also next call, you guys, if you guys would turn your cameras on just so I can see who I'm doing business with, it would be great. That's why I do these Zoom calls so that I can see the people I'm doing business with and I get to know who you are. So, and then you said you shared a file in meeting. Justin, unmute. Tell me what you know by that.
Yeah, it's just the current comp plan in case you wanted to document.
Oh,
I
okay,
put it in
cool.
there in
Okay,
Spanish
great.
and in English.
Okay, got it. Got it. Evelyn, are there any questions?
Por
Oh,
ahora
Evelyn.
no hay
Not at the
preguntas.
moment, no questions.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Jessica, Edith, any of you guys, Sandy, you have
I
any
have a
questions?
quick
Jeffrey,
question.
Roger, don't be shy. This is the time to do it, you guys. Go ahead, Jessica.
Okay, so what is when you say, I like how you say the patch is a device, right? What is the best way to explain, or how can I educate myself to be able to explain why the patch is a device to someone? Because right now I'm offering it to my friends and family, right? I'm sharing it with them and patching everyone. So it's the objection I'm getting back, it's hard to believe that a white sticker, just like it's like a white sticker. And to be honest with you, like I've already seen amazing things, but every time I take it off, I also think the same thing, is like how can this be helping me this much, right? It's like I take it off and I still think that even though I am experiencing changes myself.
So, Jessica, great question. And let me just say this. You guys can ask me questions in Spanish too, because I have an interpreter, so I can understand. So you don't have to speak perfect English like Jessica. You can speak Spanish and I can understand as well. Jessica, that is such a great question because when my friend sent me this, I pulled it out of the envelope and I said the exact same thing to you. I was like, this is snake oil. This is bull crap. Like this thing is, there's no way that this thing could do anything. And matter of fact, my wife said to me when I told her I started having these amazing results, she was like, it's a placebo effect. And I was like, well, if it's a placebo effect, I'm good with it. Like, I don't care. Like, I feel amazing. I feel great. Like, I have energy. I have mental clarity. And then I started seeing a lot of other things happen, like pain in my body that is not placebo because it was there for a long time and not something I was thinking about. Matter of fact, I forgot about it because my wife asked me, how's your knee? And I was like, well, shit, like I haven't even felt my knee have any pain in a while. My God, that's crazy. Or on my birthday, the Colombia and Argentina soccer game was on last year, and I was up super late. I had to play golf super early. and I got like 3 hours of sleep. And usually if I have 3 hours of sleep, I'm not good to be around, but I felt amazing. And so, and then I had a young lady come up to me with her kids and tell me about her 3-year-old twins. One had autism and one had couldn't eat food. He was on a feeding tube since he was 6 months old. And she told me the story of after 2 weeks, the boy with autism was a completely different boy, and her other boy was eating. And so I was like, okay, this is real. So it took me a while because I would take it off every day, and I'm like, I had it under magnifying glass. I'm like, how could this thing be working? And so now I've been on it a year. My hair's turned back black on top. Like there's just I'm seeing a lot of different things, that have happened with me. So I agree with you, but it's that conviction. And so let me tell you how the device and the science works, okay? So our bodies are made of light. So when people ask you this, and I'll do this slow so you guys can watch this recording, our bodies are made of light and heat. And that our body is always reflecting light out of our systems, okay? And there's nanocrystal technology that this scientist created that reflects light back into your body. When you reflect light back into your body, you wake up peptide, copper peptide, GHK peptide. When you wake up GHK peptide, what that does is that stimulates your dormant stem cells. Your stem cells don't die, they just stop working because they're used, right? So a lot of our cells in our body will stop working over time. That's why we age. That's why, the collagen in our skins, all that stuff, it just our body just kind of breaks down, right, as we age. So when you wake up those stem cells, what they do is they start working again. And when they start working again, the first thing that works is inflammation. So inflammation causes all the problems in our body. It causes first and foremost disease, mostly cancer, heart, kidney, all the problems we have in our body is all from inflammation. Inflammation comes from stress. Inflammation comes from the horrible food that we eat and put into our body, and the drinks and the alcohol and the man-made prescriptions, all of that. So all that stuff starts to break our body down. So that light, what that light does is it takes that copper peptide, wakes up those stem cells. And so what starts happening is those stem cells, their main job is to get rid of toxicity out of your body. It's get inflammation out of your body. That's its main purpose. That's why we see athletes after the age of 30 really start to decline because they don't have stem cells to help them recover as fast or to protect them. So that's why we see athletes retire after the age of 30, 31, 32 because they just can't take it anymore and their bodies can't recover. Again, that's why we see 60-year-olds really start to decline in health because they don't have any stem cells there to protect them anymore. So how the science works is it elevates the copper peptides, which stimulates and elevates our own stem cells in our body. And so there's an event that we're having in October. I'm not the scientist, David is, but none of us need to be the scientists. That's why I just gave you a simple instruction. And no, you're just starting this, Jessica. But the more and more you hear about this, the more technology. So there's also a patent on this, which right? So patents have clinical studies, and you can't get a patent unless it does what it says it does, right? And so in the patent, it says what it does. And again, the only reasons that this hasn't worked that I've found out is people are not using it consistently on a regular basis, right? If you use it for a week and you stop using it, you go backwards, right? Because you're not stimulating your stem cells. And if you don't drink enough water, because water flushes your system. So you're going to go through a detox. And so people will be like, I feel tired. I have a headache. I know you haven't drank enough water. So as soon as if you drink 20 ounces of water real quick, boom, you're going to have a surge of energy because now you're letting your body work and it's getting rid of the toxins out of your body because it can only leave through number one, number two, sweat or breathing, right? So, and if you ever feel tired, like today, I felt a little tired because I went in the sauna. I was in the sauna. I went for a walk this morning in Miami, Florida, which was hot as heck. So I sweat my tail off and I didn't drink enough water. So I just drank a bunch of water driving. I almost fell asleep. And I was like, it's 1 o'clock. I shouldn't be tired. And I was like, I haven't drank enough water. I drank water. Boom. I had a surge of energy that came out of it. So some people might take a little longer to have something. Some people might not be dealing with anything. They might not notice anything. Now, I had a friend that took Adderall and he took Xanax. He's like, I don't feel anything. I'm like, you're not going to feel anything if you're taking Adderall. You're not going to feel anything if you're, drinking alcohol every night to go to sleep. You're not going to feel anything. Your body doesn't know what it's feeling, but it is doing things inside of your body that we have no idea. right? It's helping your heart, it's helping your kidneys, it's helping all these things in your body that we're not aware of. What I also tell people, and I know this is a long response, but I want to give you as much information as possible, is go to the doctor when you start wearing it. Get a blood test, and then go back to the doctor 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, and see how your blood tests are different. I was on thyroid medicine for 5 years. I had Hashimoto, which is a very common thing that you get when you get older. And after being on this patch, my thyroid is back in line. My stem cells fixed my Hashimoto. I mean, I was over 50, so obviously 75% of my stem cells are not where they were when I was younger. So that's when all these bad things start happening as we get older. I mean, you always hear people say, after the age of 40, nothing's the same, right? I mean, that's just because we're aging and we're going through this process. So that's how the device works. And you're right to say it's a device because it's not most patches on the market are putting something into your body, right? The nicotine patch puts nicotine in. The pain patch is putting something in for pain. These patches have no stimulants, no chemicals, no drugs. There's nothing going. The only thing you're doing is using your own body's resources, which is light, to stimulate copper peptide, GHK1 peptide, and then it elevates your stem cells all on its own. Now, like I said, I had a transformation, and I stopped telling this story, but I was waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is the most annoying thing to have to wake up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and disrupt your sleep. Literally after day one of this, I've never woke up again to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So that was my first transformation that I had. And then like day three, energy, mental clarity, like insane. So, some of my friends, it took 2 weeks, some took 2 months. So I don't make promises to anybody, but my brother has chronic problems his whole life with illness. And I told him it could take 90 days. And he was like, if this thing works in 90 days, that's amazing. And so what my wife has said to people too is people that want immediate results, tell me what vitamin or supplement you've taken and you have immediate results. None, right? But this will give you some pretty good results pretty early. So I hope that was helpful with the information. Again, just watch these calls. I would say, if you go onto YouTube, David explains it in such a technical, scientific doctor way, but we can't explain it that way because people, if you explain it that way, people are gonna be like, I'm never gonna learn that. And I remember when I first heard about this, I was like, man, that's a lot of information. But after a month, you're going to get the conviction and just be like, listen, the device works. Just try it. Put it on. There's nothing harming your body this because you're not putting anything in. I mean, we put bad things in our body every day. I mean, the air that we suck in from the environment and the cars and everything else. This is going to help you better. So again, I hope that answered your question. It was a great question, by the way, Jessica. They're probably one of the best ones I've had so far. Very good.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sí, hay una pregunta en español de
Yep.
Pierangela.
There's a question in Spanish from Pierangela. It's about the closing. She says that it's been a month and a half, and many people say they're interested, but at the end, she's not able to close them.
Okay. Is Angela on here? Angela, unmute
Sí,
yourself
está
and let's
comentando en el
talk.
chat.
Aquí estoy. Aquí
Yes,
estoy.
here I am. Here I am.
Okay, go ahead.
La pregunta
So the
es que
question
llevo mes
is,
y medio
I've been for a month and a
convocando,
half
hablando con gente todos los
meeting up with
días.
people, talking with
Las
people
personas
every
dicen que
day.
sí,
People say
incluso
yes, they're
varias dicen que sí se
interested,
quieren meter en el
and many
negocio,
of them are even
pero no
interested in the
terminan de
business,
concretar, no
but they
terminan
never
de
get
comprar, de
anywhere. They never
inscribirse, a pesar de
enroll.
que
We never
estoy
end
todos
up
los días
closing anything,
nutriéndole
even though I'm
información, llamándoles,
nurturing them with information
diciéndole
every
cuándo
day,
quieren mi
calling them,
apoyo para
asking
inscribirse,
them when
pero
they want
no
support,
siempre me
when can
dicen
I
sí,
assist them
sí,
to
es que
enroll, and they
no
always say,
tengo tiempo,
yes,
tengo
yes,
muchas
I'm
cosas que
sorry, I
hacer, he
don't have
tenido
time, I'm
problemas.
doing a lot of things,
Siempre hay
I've had
una
issues.
excusa
There's
y no
always an
terminan
excuse,
de
and they
inscribirse
never
o
end
meterse en
up
el negocio o
enrolling
hacer la
into
compra
the
del patch,
business or
a pesar
purchasing
de
the
que
patch,
muchos de ellos
even though
tienen
many of
problemas de
them
salud,
have health
problemas serios de
problems,
salud
serious
y se
health problems,
impresionan. Yo he
and
tenido
they are
testimonios yo
impressed.
misma
I
con los
have
parches
testimonials
y le
myself
mando
with the patches,
testimonios
and I show them
específicos para
testimonials
cada condición de
specifically for
salud
each health
y con
condition,
todo y eso no
and
terminan de
still
comprar.
they
Entonces estoy
never
así como que no
buy. So
entiendo,
I don't
de pronto estoy haciendo
understand,
algo
am I
mal
doing
en la
something
venta
wrong in
que
my
no
sales
termina de
strategy that
concretarse.
I never close?
I wouldn't say you're doing something wrong. Whenever I'm trying to figure out why people aren't closing, um, I always just ask, like you seem really
Mhm.
interested. Is there anything holding you back? Like, so I like to ask that question so that I can gain knowledge from why they might
Mhm.
not be signing up, right? Um, are you how are you closing them? Like when you're having the conversation, like let's role play. What are you saying to them? They're interested, but they don't close.
Ok, primero
Okay,
le
well,
envío, les
first,
hablo
I talk
sobre el
to them
parche,
about the
les
patch.
explico de
I
una manera
explain
sencilla
in a
sobre el
simple
parche,
way
la
how the
persona se
device works.
interesa,
The person is
luego le
interested.
envío
Afterwards, I
información,
send them
videos y una
information,
selección.
videos. I
Hice
made
un
my own
documento donde
selection. I
puse
created
lo
a
más
document
importante para
where
que
I
la
put the most
persona
important
no se
part of each
abrume de
document so the
tanta
person doesn't feel
información y
overwhelmed with
luego
so much information.
tengo una llamada con
And
la
after that, I
persona
have a
está
call
súper
one-on-one. The
emocionada,
person super
cuánto
excited.
cuesta,
How much does it
asesórame, qué debo
cost? Can
comprar,
you
cómo hago, todo,
advise
absolutamente
me?
le
What
envío
should
el
I
link.
purchase
Ok,
first?
y
Everything.
le
I
digo,
send them the link.
¿cuándo vamos a hacer la compra?
And then I say,
Ok,
okay,
por
when are you
decirte,
going to
mañana
purchase?
4 de la tarde.
Tomorrow
Ok,
at 4 p.m.
mañana 4 de la
Okay,
tarde lo
tomorrow at
agendo
4 p.m.
y te
I
acompaño
put
en el
that on
proceso
my
de compra.
calendar
Ok,
and I will help you with the
mañana
process
llega a
of
las 4
purchasing.
de la tarde, la
So tomorrow
persona, no sé,
arrives,
le
4
pasó cualquier
p.m.,
cosa
and I don't know,
y no lo
something
hizo.
happened
Ok,
to that person
cuéntame,
and she wasn't
¿cuándo lo
able to
puedes
do it.
hacer
Okay,
nuevamente?
so when will
O
you
sea, a mí
be
me
able
gusta,
to
yo les
purchase
pongo
again?
fecha,
I
les
always
pongo
ask them
hora,
to put a
porque sé que
date
si no,
and the
las
time
cosas no se
because I
dan.
know that if not,
Pero
Okay.
things
es como
just
que
disappear.
le van
But
dando largas y
they
largas y largas y de
continue
verdad
saying
ya
excuses,
no, o sea, yo he
excuses, and
preguntado
excuses.
eso.
And I have
Tengo,
asked
te
them,
ha
I've asked
saludado,
them, Are you
permíteme
doubting
ayudarte
anything?
a
Let
que
me help
puedas
you
aclarar tus
so you
dudas,
can
te da
clarify
miedo,
any
sientes
questions. Are you
desconfianza.
afraid? Do you
No, todo
not
perfecto.
trust in
No,
this?
claro que
No,
sí, lo quiero
everything's
hacer.
perfect.
Lo que
I
pasa
do
es que
want
he
to
estado
do it, but
complicada, he
it's
tenido
been
muchos problemas, o
complicated.
estoy
I've
de
had a lot of
viaje,
problems, or
o he
I'm
tenido mucho
traveling,
trabajo. Es
or I've
como
had a
que
lot
lo
of
van
work.
postergando
It's
y
like they
obviamente no
continue
están tomando
postponing,
como
and
prioridad.
obviously it's not a
Entonces
priority.
también les
So
expongo
I
si su
also
salud
tell them if
es
your
prioridad o es
health,
algo secundario
is
en
it
su
a
vida.
priority in your life or is it
No,
secondary?
sí, es mi
And no,
prioridad. Y
yes,
si es
it's
tu
my
prioridad
priority.
y
Okay,
estás
so if it's
viendo
your
que yo tengo
priority and
resultados
you're seeing
y
that
te estoy
I'm
mostrando
having results in me
testimonios
and I'm
con tu
showing you
condición de salud,
testimonials with
es
your
decir, que
health
estás
condition, what
esperando.
are you waiting for?
O sea,
So,
¿por qué estás
Angela,
postergando tu salud?
Why are
Ajá.
you postponing your health? Yes,
how long have you been doing this?
Un mes y
a
medio.
month and a half.
Okay. So this is for everybody on here, you guys. A month and a half is such little time. Okay. And
Mm.
it's a numbers game. Okay. And maybe you're not that great at talking about it yet, to convincing them. And so I would just continue. Like I love how pushy you are with it. I like that you're giving them options. Now let me ask you, have you invited them to any calls where we talk about the business where it's not just you?
No,
No,
no, a las
Okay.
llamadas no.
no, not to the calls.
Yeah, so I mean, we have those calls on Tuesday nights. Maybe that would be an
Sí.
approach to be like, hey, listen,
Ujú.
I would love you to get on my business partner. And also it's summer, so people are busy with their kids, and it's not like a
Sí.
plan of theirs.
Ujú.
Not that I'm giving that as an excuse, but also it could be money. For people. They just feel like, so when it's money, I'm just like,
Mm.
$3 a day to feel like $1 million, like, and I also just say, hey, this has changed my life more than anything ever. Like the reason I want you to do this is because this has changed my life. Like I've never felt anything like this. And I just feel like I'm like Benjamin Button. I'm going back in years, So I would just say keep doing it. Like most people get discouraged too quickly in this business or when they're doing anything. And if you guys are not giving it, 3 to 5 years to talk about this with people, you got to give it that amount of time. And I'm love that you're asking the questions, Angela, but keep doing what you're doing. What I find when people are not having success is they talk too much. So I'm
Mm.
able to have a conversation with somebody 5 to 7 minutes. I'm getting them signed up because the way that I've talked about the business is like this has changed my life. Do you know what stem cells do? Your wellness, prevention. And so there's another book that I'm reading right now that I posted on my social media today called Outlive. And it's by Peter Attia, and he talks about like the three levels of medicine from 100 years ago. So like 100 years ago, we had medicine
Mm.
1.0, which was basically people were just guessing. They had no idea the diseases people had or how to treat them. And then there's medical 2.0, where we just really started treating people for their sicknesses. And then in the last 5 years, 7 years, now we have prevention. And that's what this patch is. This patch is a prevention. It's to help people stay healthier, live healthier longer, live young. And so I would just say keep having the conversation, Angela, because you're doing really good. I love what you're saying, but it is just a numbers game, for people when you're talking to them. So just keep doing what you're doing and let's talk in another month. And then what I'm going to do next week
Ujú.
on Wednesday, I'm going to do a role play, okay? Where I'm going to have you guys come on and we're going to role
Ah,
play a
buenísimo.
prospect and talking to him. And I want you to be my first person, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
Okay.
And I want to role play with you and I want to hear how you're getting into the
Okay.
conversation and how you're closing the conversation. I don't have time tonight, but next
Okay.
Wednesday, I'm gonna remember you and I want to role play with you on that Wednesday. Okay? And then whoever else wants to
Vale.
role play with me, so we can
Perfecto.
just kind of go through and you can recruit me. Okay?
Perfecto. El
Okay,
miércoles,
perfect.
¿no?
This Wednesday?
No, no, next Wednesday. This Wednesday I'm gonna
Ok,
talk about how to
perfecto.
talk to people and how to warm up leads and stuff. And then the next Wednesday we're gonna role play what we learned this week.
Perfecto. Estaré en la
Okay,
Okay?
llamada.
perfect. I'll be in the call.
Okay,
Gracias.
Thank
awesome.
you.
All right, I think Jay had his hand up and then I'll get to Edith. Or Jeffrey, I'm sorry. I saw Jay. Jeffrey, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, first of all, man, thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you tremendously. I show up to all these calls because I'm just
I know
sharpening
you
my
do.
blade. And let me just ask you one question because I do have a couple of new people here that are on. And I don't know, maybe this is a Wednesday conversation, but if you have a new person that wants to say, okay, what do I need to do to get started? What would you suggest the one, two, threes would be?
So the one, two, threes would be, and if you're, Justin's on here, so make sure you get our onboarding document from him if you haven't got it. So the number one problem with this business, you guys, is when we bring people on that everyone in your organization doesn't get the same system. Because no one's employees here, but what we're trying to do is create a system so that everyone in the organization, no matter how far down you can be successful. So I would say the first thing to do is to get that onboarding document. The second thing to do is show up to these trainings so you can get a good understanding of the business. The third thing I would say to do is talk to every single person about it, even if you suck, because it doesn't matter. The only way you're going to get good talking about this is to do it and just keep it simple. Like keep it really, really simple. Like I taught you guys tonight, get into the conversation, ask them what they do and then start talking about the patch. Rewatch this recording. That's all you have to do. Like I did that in 7 minutes where I'm talking about the patch. So understand the business, understand how to get your link, start talking to people. And then when you bring people on, invite them to the opportunity calls on Tuesday nights invite them on the calls on Monday, invite them on the calls on Wednesday, because the more information that they have, that you're bringing in, then they're going to get a lot better. But just keep talking about the business, because the more you talk about it, now what's going to happen. Okay, you're going to get in, and people are going to start asking you questions. That's okay. I just started this business. I don't know the answer, but I can find the answer to you. Right? Then you're going to reach out to Evelyn or Lola or Justin, ask them a question, and they're going to give you an immediate response, what you need. But the other thing that's coming, Jeffrey, very, very, very soon is our website and our school. That's going to be one of the first things they want to get into and just look at that because it's going to have all the information that they need to be successful. I'm telling you guys, in this industry, nobody has that, right? You guys are going to have everything at your fingertips that you can share. All these documents that I have are going to be on the website. You can download it and share it out to people from your phone immediately if people have questions, videos, testimonials, all the things that you're going to need to launch your business. We're going to have that for you. So first thing, show up to the meetings, learn everything you can, spend time coming to these meetings every week, and then just talk to people. Just start talking about this business opportunity. Invite them in with us. Jeffrey's your partner. I'm your partner. Edith's your partner. We're all partners, right? We're all here to help one another. That's the great thing is we're all one family, one team. Anything else, Jeffrey?
No, fantastic, man. I appreciate it.
I
And
appreciate you, man.
I can't wait to see you on this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm just
Yep.
so excited for what's coming and what's coming next. So
Awesome, man. Make sure you find me. I'll be there.
absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
brother.
Thank
Thanks.
you,
I'll
man.
see you. I'll see you this week. Edith. And thanks for asking questions, you guys. This is what makes this training good is when you guys ask questions. Me just being a talking head doesn't really do anything. But if you guys bring questions in here, this is what makes this more effective than anything else. Go ahead, Edith.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Good evening.
Mi pregunta es, yo tengo,
Good evening. My
voy a hacer
question
3
is,
meses el
it's
15
going
de
to be
agosto que me
3
inscribí como
months
socio
on August 15th since I
y
enrolled as a
de
brand
esos,
partner.
de esos 3 meses
And out of
solamente
those
he
3
inscrito
months,
3 clientes.
I've
2 de
only
mis clientes
enrolled
son
3 clients. 2 of those clients
por los lives que he hecho
are
en
thanks to
Facebook
the lives that
y
I
uno
posted on
personal.
Facebook, and one
Eh,
is personal.
¿Qué me aconsejas
What
para,
do
por ejemplo,
you
para
advise,
no
for
como repetir lo
example,
mismo
to not
en los en vivos
repeat
que yo hago?
everything
Ahorita ya
the
me
same in the
estoy
live
haciendo en vivos
videos?
en TikTok
For example, right now
y
I'm
varias
doing live
personas de
videos in
mirarme en vivo
TikTok,
se
and many
interesaron.
of these people were interested.
Les envié mensaje, me comuniqué con ellos,
I
pero
sent them a
igual me han
message, I
dejado en visto,
communicated
¿no?
with them, and they left me unseen.
Yo voy a seguir buscándolos, ¿verdad? Pero ¿qué me
I'm going to
aconsejas
continue
para
going after
lo
them,
hago
but
todos
what
los días los
do
en
you
vivos o me
advise?
recomiendas 3
Should I
veces a la
do
semana
those lives every day or
o
3 days a
So,
week?
so it's really good question. Consistency is the key. So we in our head think that the same people are watching and they're not. Okay, on our stories, on our feed, Instagram controls who sees stuff, right? Even on lives, right? They're going to show people in your feed that you're on a live. Keep doing it. The more consistent, like I would tell you, we had a girl on a team in another business. Her name was Tatiana, and she had literally 400 followers on TikTok and Instagram, and she now has about 120,000 followers because every day she went live talking about the business, talking about the device, talking about the patch because she was just so consistent with it. So just stay consistent. I would also not only depend on social media either. I would make it very intentional to get out and meet people and talk to people. If it's at a gym, if it's at a restaurant, if it's, going to the grocery store, the Target, like wherever, just make it intentional to get out and meet people and get into that conversation that I talked about earlier. Social media is one vehicle, but it's not the only vehicle, right? We can't just hide behind there and think that that's going to be our only source. I mean, and you might have, I don't know how many followers you have, but it's one source, but also we got to go out there and talk about the others. The other thing is sometimes don't have a call to action. Sometimes just give information, right? Try not to sell to people. Do a live and not even offer them to get your link or get anything, right? Because then they're going to show it to more people. But if you're just talking about wellness and what the patch does, and that's it, and there's no, hey, contact me, so make sure your stuff is mixed up and also do more personal stuff too. So don't just make it about business. When you're live, maybe make it about helping people with something that you're good at talking about. Maybe it's beauty, maybe it's, your hair. You have really long, full hair. Like how is your hair so long and full? So like just mix it up where people don't feel like they're always being sold to, right? And then just get out and meet people too in your everyday life. Get out of the house and meet people. Like that's the people that are the most successful in this business do that as well. But keep the social media going. Stay consistent with it, but maybe mix it up a little bit. When you go live next time, don't talk about the patch. Maybe talk about something else in life. Maybe talk about health. Then the next one, it's like, okay, this girl knows. So become an expert in other areas besides just always selling to people. But stay consistent with it, right? Like don't stop doing it because you think people are tired of hearing it. There's different people coming on all the time that's going to see it. So keep doing what you're doing.
sí,
Just stay consistent with it. Okay. And also 3 months, you guys, 3 months is nothing. 3 months is nothing. It's nothing, right? It's a very, very short amount of time, you guys. If you told me 13 years, I'd be like, okay, you've been doing this a good amount of time. 3 months is nothing. And you're just starting to get good about talking about it. Right? I mean, you're just getting understanding how you talk about the business when you're in front of people. I mean, 90 days is nothing. I mean, you can't learn anything in 90 days. Like you can't learn how to ski in 90 days. You can't learn how to cook good in 90 days, right? So give yourself some time to talk about this and stay consistent. Because the more people you could talk to, the more opportunity you will to have close people. All right, guys, great questions tonight. Thank you
sí,
so much for getting on here, and make sure you invite everyone that comes into business into this. Even if you want to invite your customers sometimes, say, hey, listen, you want to, learn about the business? Like just because they're customers doesn't mean you can't invite them to these calls. It doesn't just have to be brand partners. You can invite customers because they can become a brand partner. All customers in your mind should become a brand partner because once they have a testimonial, they're going to want to share this. Why not get paid to share it? I mean, no restaurant pays you when you share how great the restaurant was. They don't pay you anything, but you get paid to share something that's going to actually transform and change people's lives. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Invite people to this call tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I don't do these calls for me, you guys. We have our own recruiting method. I do these calls for our team so that you can invite people in and so we can help your people. Okay? Have a great night, you guys. So nice to see you guys, and we'll see you guys soon.